Chosen one, if you clicked on this message by accident, it wasn't an accident. Before this day ends, something you've been praying for, something you've almost given up on, is beginning to move behind the scenes. But here's the strange part. Most people will completely miss the sign. Don't skip this message, because what happens between August 1st and August 2nd could become the turning point you've been waiting for. Stay until the end, because there's one final message that could explain why you've been feeling so different lately. Chosen one, stop scrolling. If you're watching this on August 1st or 2nd, this message may have reached you for a reason. Something unexpected is already shifting behind the scenes, and within the next 48 hours, one moment could change everything. But here's the warning. Most people will ignore the sign when it appears. Stay with me until the very end, because the final message could explain why you've been feeling different lately, and what heaven is preparing to release into your life. One chosen one. Have you noticed that something has felt different lately? Maybe you can't explain it, but deep inside, you know you're standing on the edge of a new season. The challenges you faced weren't random. The sleepless nights, the unanswered prayers, the unexpected disappointments, they've all been shaping you in ways you couldn't see at the time. There were moments when you questioned everything. You wondered why doors kept closing. You asked why people you trusted suddenly walked away. You even questioned whether your prayers were being heard at all. But what if every delay was actually protecting you from something you couldn't see? What if every closed door was leading you toward one that no one can shut? Sometimes God's greatest work happens in silence. While you're waiting, He is preparing. While you're struggling, He is strengthening your character. And while you think nothing is happening, heaven is putting every piece of your future into place. Think about a seed buried deep in the ground. From the outside, it looks like nothing is happening. But beneath the surface, roots are growing, life is developing, and the foundation is becoming strong enough to support what will eventually bloom. In many ways, you've been in that hidden season, not forgotten, not abandoned, just being prepared for something greater. The truth is, breakthroughs rarely arrive when people expect them. They often come after the hardest season, when faith has been tested and hope has been stretched to its limit. That's why you must not give up now. You're closer than you realize. So today, lift your head. Refuse to let fear write your story. Refuse to believe that your best days are behind you. The same God who carried you through every storm is still leading you forward. And what happens next may be the very confirmation you've been praying for. Stay with me, because the next message could reveal why this season is unlike any you've experienced before. 2. Chosen one. There is something you need to understand about this season of your life. Not every blessing arrives with a loud announcement. In fact, some of the greatest changes begin so quietly that most people don't recognize them until everything has already changed. That is why these next few days matter. They are an invitation to pay attention, not to fear, not to confusion, but to the small moments that many people overlook. Maybe it's an unexpected phone call, a conversation that opens a new door, a chance meeting with someone who speaks exactly what your heart needed to hear. Or maybe it's a quiet sense of peace replacing the anxiety you've been carrying for so long. Don't ignore these moments just because they seem ordinary. Some of life's biggest turning points begin with what looks like a small step. Remember, God often works through ordinary circumstances to accomplish extraordinary purposes. The opportunity you're praying for may not arrive wrapped the way you imagined. It may come disguised as a simple decision, an unexpected delay, or even a challenge that pushes you out of your comfort zone. That's why spiritual awareness is so important right now. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening?" begin asking, "What is God trying to show me through this?" When your perspective changes, everything else begins to change with it. You may also notice that certain people suddenly reappear while others quietly disappear. Don't chase what is leaving. Trust that every season has a purpose. Some people are only meant to walk with you for part of the journey, while others are being sent to help you step into the next chapter of your life. So keep your heart open, stay humble, stay grateful, continue praying even when you don't yet see the full picture. Every prayer you've whispered in private has been heard, every tear you've cried has been seen, and every step you've taken in faith has been leading you closer to where you're meant to be. The breakthrough you're waiting for may not happen all at once. It may begin with one unexpected moment that changes the direction of your entire life. So don't lose hope now. Keep watching, keep believing, because sometimes the smallest sign becomes the beginning of the biggest miracle. And in the next part, we'll talk about why the people who walked away may have actually been making room for the blessing that's finally on its way. 3. Chosen one. There is a reason some people could not continue the journey with you. For a long time, you may have believed their departure meant you had failed. Maybe you replayed conversations in your mind, wondering what you could have done differently. Maybe you blamed yourself for relationships that ended, opportunities that disappeared, or dreams that never came together. But today, I want you to consider a different perspective. Not every ending is a loss. Sometimes an ending is protection, sometimes it is preparation, and sometimes it is God's way of creating space for something greater than what you're trying to hold on to. Think about it. If your hands remain full of what no longer belongs in your life, how can you receive the new blessing that is waiting for you? The truth is, growth often requires letting go. It's uncomfortable because we naturally want to hold on to what is familiar. Even when something is no longer healthy, we cling to it because it feels safe. But faith is often about trusting God enough to release what you understand so you can receive what you cannot yet see. Maybe you've been asking, why did this door close? Instead, ask yourself what new door is about to open. That single question can change your entire outlook. You are not being defined by your past disappointments. You are being prepared by them. Every challenge has taught you something. Every setback has made you stronger. Every delay has developed patience, wisdom, and resilience that you couldn't have gained any other way. One day, you'll look back and realize that what felt like rejection was actually redirection. The people who misunderstood you were not assigned to your future. The opportunities that slipped away were not meant to carry your purpose. And the season that tested your faith was quietly building the person you needed to become. So don't waste your energy chasing what has already left. Invest your energy in becoming the person God created you to be. Focus on your character. Guard your peace. Stay faithful in the small things, because the small things prepare you for the big things. Your story isn't over. In fact, this may be the chapter where everything begins to make sense. The pain you've carried will not have the final word. The disappointments you've experienced will not define your destiny. There is still purpose ahead. There is still hope ahead. And there are still blessings that have your name on them. So keep walking with confidence. Keep trusting, even when the road is unclear. Because sometimes the greatest breakthrough doesn't begin when your circumstances change. It begins the moment you decide to believe that your future is greater than your past. 4. Chosen one. Right now, I need you to hear this with an open heart. The closer you get to a breakthrough, the louder fear often becomes. Have you noticed that just when you decide to move forward, doubt suddenly shows up? You begin questioning your purpose. You second-guess your decisions. You wonder if you're truly capable of carrying the future you've been praying for. That doesn't always mean you're moving in the wrong direction. Sometimes it means you're closer than you've ever been. Think about every great story of faith. Before the victory came the testing. Before the breakthrough came the waiting. Before the promise was fulfilled, there was a season where nothing seemed to make sense. Maybe that's exactly where you are today. You don't have all the answers. You can't see the entire path ahead. And yet, something deep inside you refuses to give up. Hold on to that feeling, because hope is often born in the middle of uncertainty. Don't allow temporary emotions to make permanent decisions. Some of the thoughts trying to convince you to quit today won't even matter a few weeks from now. Feelings change, circumstances change, but God's faithfulness does not. You may feel tired, you may feel discouraged, you may even wonder if your prayers are making any difference. But every step you take in faith matters, even when you cannot immediately see the results. Imagine climbing a mountain in the early morning. Thick fog surrounds you, and you can only see a few feet in front of you. You don't stop walking because you can't see the summit. You trust that every step is bringing you closer, even when the destination remains hidden. Faith works the same way. You don't need to see the whole picture to keep moving. You only need enough courage to take the next step. And perhaps that's the lesson this season has been teaching you all along. Not how to control the future, but how to trust God with it. There will always be voices telling you that it's too late, that you've missed your opportunity, or that someone else is more qualified than you. Don't believe those voices. Your value isn't determined by someone else's opinion. Your purpose isn't cancelled because of a setback, and your future isn't limited by your past mistakes. The same God who brought you through every difficult season is still writing your story. He hasn't forgotten your prayers. He hasn't overlooked your tears. And He hasn't stopped working simply because you cannot see what is happening behind the scenes. So choose courage over fear. Choose faith over doubt. Choose gratitude over frustration. Every morning you wake up is another opportunity to trust, to grow, and to prepare for what is coming next. One day, you'll look back on this chapter and realize that what felt like a delay was actually divine timing. The waiting wasn't empty, it was productive. The silence wasn't abandonment, it was preparation. So don't give up now, chosen one. Stay faithful, stay patient, stay expectant. Because sometimes the greatest miracle isn't that everything changes overnight. It's that you become stronger, wiser, and more prepared while you're waiting. And when the right moment finally arrives, you'll understand why every challenge, every delay, and every unanswered question was leading you to this very season. Your breakthrough may be closer than you think. Chosen one. The next 48 hours may not look the way you expected, but don't underestimate small beginnings. A single moment, a single conversation, a single opportunity can redirect your entire life. Walk into these days with expectation instead of fear. Choose faith instead of doubt. Choose gratitude instead of worry. Because what is meant for you cannot be stolen. What God has prepared for you cannot be delayed forever. This chapter is different. This season is different. And you are not the same person you were yesterday. If this message encouraged you, write Amen in the comments and share it with someone who needs hope today. Remember, sometimes the greatest miracle isn't what changes around you. It's who you become while you're waiting. May peace, wisdom, favor, and unexpected blessings follow you wherever you go. And never forget, you were chosen for a reason.